Last time on Final Fantasy, we crossed a bridge. Oh, and also we beat Cornelia's greatest knight, or some shit like that. And we got access to this continent, which, well, we've only got access to a section of it. I wouldn't blame you if you couldn't tell, but this is basically just a sort of sectioned off area of the continent. We don't have access to all that much, but what we do have access to, we will visit. There are only 2 places on this continent we can go at the moment, but whatever, we will go to them, because we're heroes and stuff. And you know what heroes do? They cross continents for little to no reason. Get through with that. So, as you might have noticed, I'm skipping a lot of fights because a lot of the things here are basically just enemies that we've seen before. I was gonna mention this guy, but after a little bit more, but yeah, here's the new enemy of this area, the Ogre. Now, Ogres are enemies we're going to be seeing for a while, and for some time they're actually pretty tough. They have a lot of HP, they can do a decent amount of damage, like, look, 9 damage to Vance, that's pretty good! Got a good defense if I haven't mentioned that. I know I mentioned HP or defense, but yeah, you get the point. HP, defense, you know, that sort of thing. They are tough, but not too tough. They'll appear in larger groups later on. And trust me, in a while, they will start to get pretty annoying, actually. For the most part, this continent is filled with slightly more difficult formations of enemies we've seen before, and also werewolves are a little more common. And also, swish swishery. Can I quote you on that? Also, that thing they say, does that actually mean anything? I've tried spelling it backwards, but that doesn't really... It's still gibberish. Poor lady. Well, I don't know who would steal your eye, but I do know who's going to steal your treasure. Well, it's her fault for leaving it in boxes. Although, to be honest, I do want to steal from these pots if there's anything in them. No, it's just food, water, toothpaste, soap. Who needs that stuff? We're adventurers. We don't need any of that. We just need stuff to kill people with. And heal ourselves. Anyway, we can't really do anything over there at the moment, other than steal that old lady's treasures, so we should continue on to the next town, which is actually a fair ways away. But, nevertheless, there's not all that much to look out for, other than those ogres, which can admittedly do a bit of damage to you. But overall, your only worry should probably be the fact that you don't really have all that much MP to work with at the moment. Of course, if you have a red mage, you should have 2 cures, so in case your white mage runs out of MP, your red mage can always make a good substitute. Not snubstitute. That wouldn't make a lick of sense. Okay, just had to heal up real quick. I am getting kind of low on MP, but I think we're actually nearing the town once we're through this forest. Oh wait, no, I think it's the next forest. Once it goes downwards, sort of like that. Alright, this should definitely be it. I'm pretty sure there's nothing up there. And to be honest, I don't want to bother checking. Alright, oh, crying out loud. Oh, hey, look, it's a lizard! I didn't know that these guys appeared here. Well, they do decent damage, but other than that, the only other notable thing about them is the fact that they really like to tag along in other encounters. You will see them a lot, and, you know, by the time they're tag teaming with other monsters, you'll be kind of tired of them. Now, if we could just get out of this monster-infested forest, we could actually reach this town, Pravoka. What do you have to say, sir? Well, I can't exactly help you if you don't give me anything to work with. Alright, pirates, that actually helps me. Now I know what's happening to this town, but first, a rest at the inn. Wait, 20 more gil for a... This inn is in a town that has been occupied by pirates, and you expect me to pay more money than I would pay in Cornelia? The nerve of it all. Anyway, before we take care of that pirate problem, though this is a church, that's not needed, let's just take a quick look at what we can buy in town. Here we have level 2 magic. Blinda is sort of useful, except not really, because Blinda basically... it's not needed because I'm pretty sure Blinda is cured after the battle. Invis is pretty useful, Null Shock is pretty useful, Silence is not useful because it's one of those status effect spells that almost never works, but yeah. I guess if you really want to, you can get Blinda. Blind isn't that serious of a status effect, really. Anyway, here we got Blizzard, Dark Temper, and Slow. Slow is probably somewhat useful in that it's a debuff spell rather than just a status effect, but still, Blizzard and Temper are the spells you're going to want to get for black magic. Especially Temper because that erases the attack power of, well, attacks. Well, characters really, but anyway, yeah. So those are the spells here, and, you know, relatively useful. Oh, hey, hi pirates, but yeah. So there's a decent selection, but also a few that are kind of completely worthless, to be honest. Let's see, in terms of armor, we have, not really all that much. Mostly stuff, well, leather gloves can be used by everyone, but mostly it's stuff that's usable by the knight. Not knight, warrior. Alright, so, just assume I bought all the good stuff and equipped all the good stuff. But anyway, just a quick note about shields. They actually do have a chance of just randomly blocking attacks, though given how, well, crappy of a shield we have right now, it's really not going to do all that much defending for us, so there's that. Anyway, let's check out what weapons they have. I'm going to guess it's going to be mostly useless to everyone but warrior, right? Oh geez, they still have a hammer. Nothing new for White Mage, Scimitar is good for Thief and Red Mage, Battle Axe is of course good for Warrior. Of course that's the most powerful thing here, although it's apparently as expensive as a broadsword for some reason? Actually, broadsword isn't bad. In fact, I think it's better than the Scimitar, but Scimitar is definitely... am I even pronouncing that right? It's definitely good for the Thief, I know that for sure. Broadsword, definitely the best for Red Mage, though. My mistake. Okay, that stuff sucks. Okay, so, before we take care of those pirates, I've noticed that I don't have all that much money left. Yeah, this stuff costs 250 gil, and I have less than 200 gil, so... I don't normally grind, and grinding is normally not necessary, but I'm actually going to go do that real quick. I'll be back when I have all the spells I need. Alright, so, I got some magic. Look at that. Invis, Blizzard, Temper, and Blinda, Null Shock, and Invis. Blinda, again, is kinda useless because Blind isn't that good of a status effect, but whatever. So, pirates, I gotta take care of you. And do you really call yourselves the Beaky Nears? Do you honestly put up with that? How much does he pay you? Like, seriously. How much do you pay these guys? They're doing a lot. They have to call themselves the Beaky Nears. And apparently 2 guys are gonna fight me, as if they can take me on. Wait, 9 of them? 9's not 2! That's not even evenly divisible by 2! These guys are cheating! Which, to be honest, is kind of the only way they could really win a fight, is cheat, because, well, they're really, really weak, and pretty much their best plan of attack is the fact that there are a lot of them, and as such, they can do some damage, because there's more than 2. See? There are 8 left now. Now 7. So, you know, they can do some decent damage, but they still suck. Also, attacks that hit multiple people, very, very good. I did not use one of those. I don't know why. Oh, right, because I don't... wait, I don't have any of them. I read you could get multiple targets... spells. That's what they're called. Attack spells, but I could have sworn it said you could somewhere, but... huh. Didn't even realize that I did get those, but whatever. Good magic is good, no matter what. It still does some damage, and as such, it's valuable. Look at that. I mean, they're doing it, well, not to Vance, but they're doing a little damage to, you know, the people who generally take a lot of damage, but nonetheless, still, also I might as well show off temper, but yeah, they're kind of weak. In fact, I think I actually once saw them get compared to goblins, actually, I think? So yeah, apparently they're almost as weak as goblins, which is kind of bad, because, you know, when you're getting compared to the first enemy in the game, that's just kind of sad. And as such, this might just be the worst crew of pirates I've ever seen in my life. So you know what, it's a good thing we're killing them. There, see? Oh wow, we actually got a level off these guys, that's pathetic. But I'll take it. Nevertheless, I will take it. What do you gotta say for yourself? And I've killed your pirate men. Wait, really? You're giving up? But you're the captain! You gave up your ship? But you are the worst captain ever. Haven't you ever heard the phrase, the captain goes down with a ship? I mean, I know that's generally literal. You know, the captain actually goes down as his ship sinks, but nonetheless, you're a terrible captain. We needn't fear the pirates anymore. We had kind of assumed that they were dangerous just because they were pirates, but they're kind of dumb and pathetic. In fact, I'm pretty sure one of us could take them on, so thanks, Warriors of Light. You set an example. The resting is over. And well, now that the wimpy pirate captain has given up his ship, we can go sail on it, see? It just sort of appeared out of nowhere. It wasn't chained down or anything, but nope, it just appeared out of nowhere. He created a pirate ship out of thin air, which is pretty impressive, actually, so yeah. However, you might notice something from the map, though then again, you might not notice something from the map, because again, not very detailed. But we don't actually have all that much that we can do once we're on the high seas. We can sail around and, you know, we get a nice little peaceful song. This one is actually kind of nice. We can't go under that bridge because it's not a drawbridge. And we can fight ocean enemies. Most enemies you'll encounter when you're on the boat are weak to electricity, or, well, thunder in this game. Even though it should be lightning, but whatever. That's a Final Fantasy tradition of, you know, misnaming that sort of thing, so I guess I shouldn't complain, even though it doesn't really make all that much sense. But yeah, Sahagins, they're fish. They attack you. Well, they're fish people, technically, but yeah, they attack you. They do decent damage, like any other new enemy. And by the time we complete... actually, we probably don't even need to complete a dungeon. We could probably just go for a nice light jog, and then we'd be powerful enough where we could just sort of kill them, and any damage they'd do would be negligible. But anyway, yeah. Oh, wrong way. But yeah, we can actually land in Cornelia, which is kind of nice if you want a cheap inn rest visit. That made sense. Oh, good God, what the hell are those things? Please tell me I can kill them with electricity. Please tell me they die. Oh yeah, these are the things that gaze at you. Gaze causes paralysis. Paralysis isn't that bad a status effect. Oh, well, there, Max got paralyzed. Good going there, Max. You can't do any attacks while you're paralyzed, but it doesn't carry on after battle, and it will eventually stop, so while it can be annoying, it's not too terrible, which is nice. But anyway, continuing on, there's not all that much we can do around here, because as you can see, this landmass right here is kind of blocking our way out. Gee, if only that weren't there, we could actually access more of the ocean. Actually, not even more of the ocean. We could access any area of the ocean we would please, which, unfortunately, there aren't that many docks outside of this area, but whatever, it would still be better than being trapped in here. Also, the boat obviously can't travel through rivers because they're too shallow. You should know that if you know how boats work. That's where we have to land next, right? That's the dock we have to go to. Pretty sure, because this is going way too far. So yeah, over here is our next destination, so let's just land right here. Also, we could get over here by pretty much going straight down from Pravoka, so not really challenged to come over here. The nice thing about ocean travel is that it actually seems to cut down on the random encounter rate, which is actually pretty useful. But we're already back to land travel, so there's that. And also, I'm pretty sure there's nothing over here, but there are tarantulas. I'm pretty sure these guys can poison you. Might be later spider enemies, I'm not quite sure. I mean, it would make sense if they could poison you, but can't quite answer that question because preemptive strike, so we'll tell later on. So yeah, I'm gonna be right back because I'm pretty sure this area, there's nothing here. Alright, well, I was right, there's nothing over here, so let's go over... Oh, come on. Okay, let's actually get into town this time. And what do you know, this guy, like the first guy in Pravoka, also tells us that there is some sort of dangerous thing, but he won't tell us what it is. This town is in some sort of trouble, but damned if he'll tell us. We have to ask more people before we can get the full story, so yeah. Also, if you couldn't tell, most of those weapons were kinda useless. Alright, well, let's just take a quick trip to the inn, even though... Wait, 100 gil? Sir, or madam, whatever you are, haven't you noticed that there is some sort of trouble happening in this town? That first guy in town told me. I don't know what danger this town is in, I don't know what's going on, but you have the gall to charge me 100 gil for a town that's in trouble. Really, I should be staying for cheap, man. Alright, let's see what we have here. Fyra, Hold, Dundara, Fokara? Alright, you should know what's useful there, Fyra and Thundara. Everything else is useless. This is a church, don't need to be here because no one's dead. Alright, Sage. Okay, well, I don't need your advice, so whatever. Let's see what we got in terms of armor. Actually, not a bad selection. Hey, actually, we're getting our first, well, maybe not first helmets, but most people don't have helmets, I believe, so this is somewhat useful. The copper armlet, of course, is useful for people who don't normally wear armor, such as White Mage. For everyone else, it's pretty terrible in terms of defense. Also, we can get tents, and a bunch of status effect healing items. You might want to get gold needles, even though they are expensive right now, because they will be useful very soon. Wait, really? Why would that... But if he's so obviously evil, then why would you let him come to power? Like, seriously. Like, damn the rules. He should... You know, the Elf King should be able to be the Elf King, and the Dark Elf should be, you know, not the Elf King. Given, again, he is apparently evil. So much so that a random NPC in town knows that. Also, you should know what's useful here. Also, we get introduced to the heal spell, which is a nice little spell that will... It's basically a cure for all members of the party. This is the only game it's really featured in, I believe, because most games you can just use cure on anyone anyway, but... Anyway, what's this? There's another magic store? Yes, there's another magic store, because we're actually going to be swinging by this area later on. Of course, Poisona would be useful now, but we can't really afford it, nor can we really use it until a little while later. Which kind of doesn't make any sense to me, to be completely honest, because, you know, the next area is pretty much the first area where you can be well, maybe not the first, but... It's the first area where poison can be a problem, so, you know, having to buy a bunch of antidotes is kind of annoying. Also, Haste, very useful spell. Similar to Temper, but instead of raising the attack power, it actually raises people's speeds, which is pretty much the same thing in this game. It just gives you more attacks and more chances to do damage. Also... Oh my god, they killed Link! They stuffed him in the third town in the game. That's kind of disrespectful. Alright, so, let's just check out this Elven Castle, because apparently a prince is asleep, and I kind of want to check out what's going on, because I guess I'm supposed to save the world and stuff, and I guess stuff like this is kind of important. And of course, that guy mentions Matoya because she's actually important to this area, so, you know, name-dropping an important character, just so you keep her in mind, you know. Make sure you understand that Matoya might be an important character involved in this well, not side quest, main quest. Wait, 5 years? You've done nothing for 5 years? So, in 5 years, the most you guys have done is have the guy at the entrance of the town go, "Oh crap, our prince is asleep and stuff. This sucks. Oh, Elvania. Oh, poor Elvania. Or Elfheim, whatever." I don't know why I called it Elvania. Just flows off the tongue far better, I suppose. Also, I talked to you, right? Yeah, you're sort of blocking the passageway. Luckily, you can push NPCs out of the way if you so need to, but... Actually, that's it. Alright, that's it for the castle. You guys suck, but first, there is, of course, one guy to speak to outside of the castle. Now, why does this seem familiar? Oh, you... Oh, if it's not enough that the door itself says that. The NPC has to say it too. Ah, well. Anyway, I could move on, however, I would actually like to have those spells. So I'm going to grind for a little while. But first, I'll just show you all my levels and stats because, well, they're probably going to go up by a little bit at the very least. So if you want to see them, they're there. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, I gotta go do grinding now. That's generally not a thing that happens, but whatever. See you later.